Reinventing the Toilet, Solving the Global Sanitation Crisis by Hannah Porter. The problem. Today's world faces many global challenges: global warming, food insecurity, war, and so on. But a major problem that has gone largely unnoticed is the lack of sanitation and access to adequate toilets in the developing world. Over 2.5 billion people lack adequate access to toilets, 1 billion of which have no access whatsoever and thus must openly defecate. The UN states that more people have access to mobile phones than toilets. This lack of toilets has many drastic consequences, namely the spread of infectious and parasitic diseases, such as cholera, typhoid, hepatitis, polio, diarrhea, and dysentery, that have caused widespread loss of human life. Every day, 1,400 children under the age of 5 die due to causes linked to unclean water, which is caused by lack of sanitation systems. Diarrhea is the most widely known disease linked to contaminated water. Over 842,000 people, 361,000 of which are children, will die from this preventable disease a year. Lack of sanitation is most prevalent in sub-Saharan Africa and South Asia. Kibera, Kenya, a case study. One such place lacking sanitation is Kibera, Kenya. Kibera is the largest slum in eastern Africa with over 200,000 residents. In Kibera, there's only one latrine for every 200 people, so people mostly go in plastic bags, which are disposed of anywhere. These are called flying toilets. Kibera is at high risk for enteric diseases such as typhoid fever. One mother describes that her children are always sick because the sewage pipes leak, and her children play in and drink the contaminated water. Kibera is one place that could benefit from improved sanitation systems. After all, according to UNICEF, poor sanitation and water cause economic losses of over $200 billion in developing countries, which is 1.5% of their GDP. For every $1 spent on sanitation improvement, $10 is returned through saved time, increased productivity, and reduced health costs. A solution: the Caltech toilet. To address the sanitation problem, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation issued a challenge. Build a toilet that costs only 5 cents per user per day, that has no septic system, that does not use outside water sources, and that does not produce pollutants. One answer was the Caltech toilet. Built in 2012, this toilet uses a solar panel to power an electrochemical reactor, which breaks down waste into solids, which can be used as fertilizer, and hydrogen, which is stored in a hydrogen fuel cell to be used on cloudy days. It also produces treated water that can be used to flush or for irrigation. This toilet costs only 11 cents per use per day and is a viable solution to the sanitation problem. This solution embodies bioengineering because it uses biological and chemical processes to dispose of waste safely. The team that built this toilet was led by Michael Hoffman, an environmental engineer and a professor of environmental science at Caltech. In order to invent this toilet, the team needed to have a thorough understanding of chemistry and computer programming, as well as electrical and mechanical engineering. To create the solutions, the team must have included chemists, biologists, computer programmers, and electrical engineers. In order to become an environmental engineer, you must complete a bachelor's degree in environmental engineering or a related field such as civil, chemical, or general engineering. An environmental engineer might work at an environmental engineering firm, for a construction or waste removal company, or for a governmental agency such as the Environmental Protection Agency. Environmental and bioengineering are essential to solving the global sanitation crisis.